Hello and welcome guys to another video, and today we have my final ACR races. So I won my second and third championship at ACR in the Clios and the Porsches. So tonight we're going to have a look at the highlights from the races, and then we will also have a look at the stats from my license after the intro. So I said I would be leaving the ACR Discord server and maybe rejoin in the future, maybe after I get a PC and could do the PC leagues. Unfortunately, for no reason, I was permanently banned, so I can't rejoin. Made absolutely no sense after doing nearly 100 races and countless highlights videos for them. So would I recommend ACR? Well, I was going to recommend ACR because they have a fantastic website. For console sim racers, it's the best website I've seen so far, and for PC racers, it's a really good website as well. But because I've done so much for ACR and then have been banned for no reason, I'm not really sure if I can recommend them. However, if you are interested in Project Cars 2 racing on Xbox, I have started my own league, and the link to that will be in the description down below. So first off, we're just going to have a quick look at the stats on my profile at the time of me leaving, and then I'm also going to have a look at the highlights of the final two races where I won my second and third ACR championship. So as you can see, just our license at the top, 98 starts, 94 completed races, 16 poles, 18 fastest laps and 15 driver of the day awards, and then 4 qualifying lap records and 2 race lap records. Managed to get 23 wins, 46 podiums, and 65 top 5s and 91 top 10s, resulting in a 48% podium rate. Here is some of the track records. So we had some track records in Clios and GT3. I drove the GT3 most, which is why most of my records are in the GT3 or Clio card. And then these were my last completed leagues. So we won the Porsches, won the Clios. I won the GT3 championship the season before, and at the same time finished second in the GT5 championship. I completed 11 leagues in total, but I won't go through all of the leagues just now. Now let's move on to the race highlights from the final two races. So here we are in the finale of the Clio Cup, and we're at the Shigo racetrack. So this is round 10 of 10. We've only got 5 drivers in the lobby, which is unfortunate because the start of the season we had around 14 drivers. There was me, Davey, Martin and Roger, who were all fighting for the wins and podiums, but unfortunately they all left. Roger was still in the championship at the finale, but unfortunately he missed the final round, so that's why there's only 5 of us in the finale here. But about halfway through the lap, we've just done our first sector here. Coming down the back straight now, as you can see, a bit up on our banker time, and we were just trying to get the best lap that we could really for the finale. We are provisionally pole by 2.5 seconds, so I knew I had a decent amount of pace and I could just push to find those last few tenths. Coming round the final corner now, really important to get this corner right. Get a good apex and a really good exit up onto the home straight here. Now crossing the line just after we go under this tunnel. As we cross the line, we'll be able to see our qualifying result. So we were able to take pole position there, and here's the qualifying result. So I was able to take pole position by 2.1 seconds, and Warby was starting in P2. So let's start off with the first lap of the race, or the first few sectors. Get a decent start off the line here, and we're able to take a little bit of a gap turning into turn 1, so we don't have to defend the inside the line, which is perfect. Able to take a good racing line round turn 1. A little bit of a slide by Gt3 behind us, but he manages to keep it together. Coming round here, and we've built up a little bit of a gap already, and just coming round this chicane, and we are around, I think, 1 second up on Gt3. Now skipping quite a bit of the race, skipping 5 minutes into the race, we've built up a 5-second lead. Coming around here, I touch the gravel on the exit, throws me to the other side of the circuit on the grass. We managed to keep it together, and unfortunately we did get a slowdown penalty, even though we lost time from nearly spinning. So I decided to just, instead of taking a time penalty, just slow down. But because it is on a straight and the Clios are so slow in accelerating, my 5-second lead before that final corner went to 5/10. So wasn't very good there at all. Able to keep the lead though, which is good, and we are then just trying to pull away again. Skipping to 13 minutes of the race, and here we're on board for my fastest lap of the race here. Getting a good lap. Our best before this was a 31.9. And we've also got a 1.6 second lead. So we lost quite a bit, about 15 minutes left of the race with that slowdown penalty. 2 minutes later, and we've built up a little bit of a gap, which is good. So pushing now to try and get the fastest lap of the race, and we're just out the first sector now, and we're about a 10th down on our best lap, but the other 2 sectors I think must have been better, because this was the fastest lap of the race. So coming round here, we get a decent corner here, good apex and a good exit. Coming to the double left-hander where we so nearly spun near the beginning of the race. Good double apex there, using all the track that we can. And then coming around the final corner, vitally important to get this correct, because if you hit those barriers on the right, your race is over. So coming up the final straight now, and this lap is going to be a 1 minute 31.684. So now skipping to the final corner. So really good championship in the Clios. I've been streaming every race over on my Twitch channel. That's in the description down below. So really happy with the championship. Obviously it's a bit a shame that so many drivers left, but we still were able to keep the championship lead since round 1. So really happy with that. Finishing the race with a 14-second lead and the fastest lap. So now we can look at the results from that championship, and then we can have a look at the GT3 championship. So this was the standings at the end of the championship. In the description down below I've put the full results, but a few of the highlights: 8 pole positions, 7 wins and 4 race fastest laps, with a 146 point lead. Now let's have a look at the GT3 finale. So now on to the Gt3 qualifying. So we started this league with, I think, a full grid, around 12 drivers, I think it was. We went down to 8 at the end of the season, unfortunately. We have had a good season-long battle with Roger. We were able to win the championship and had a really close battle with Roger, who stayed with us for the entire season. So right now we're looking at my best qualifying lap. So this was my second lap of the session. Now coming around this right-hander, I get a little bit wide onto the grass, but managed to keep my tyres on the road so I don't invalidate the lap. Very close there though. 3/10 up nearly in the first sector, so I knew it was on a good lap here, so I knew I was going to be in the 119s. Come around here, get a really good corner here, gain about a 10th here, and then round to the double left-hander. We're at Shigo as well in the GT3, so it's the same track for the finale as the Clios. There was 10 rounds, and this was the finale. So coming up around the final corner now, get a decent exit, and we are about half a second up on our best lap. Now unfortunately I don't think I was able to improve on this lap later on in qualifying, but I did a 19.544, which took pole position by 7/10 of a second. Now jumping straight into the race, red lights, and we are green. Not the best of starts. Roger gets a much better start. Knowing this, I go to the inside to defend my lead into turn 1, get a good apex, really keeping it tight, which allows me to get a good start and to keep that lead out of the first 3 corners. So just the rest of this first sector, I believe, that we're going to see now. Coming out the first sector, and we have a 1.5 second lead, so a good little cushion there, so we can now push into the race. So now we are going to see the fastest lap of the race. So this was actually lap 2, so the tyres are fresh, so they've got lots of grip, so I can push. You can't really get the race fastest lap late into the race because there's no pit stops, or it's very difficult because the tyres are wrecked. So it's a good lap here already, so just trying to keep it tight, nice and tidy. Not really sure what my delta's like because the first lap was obviously a standing start, so it's kind of hard to know mid-lap what my time is going to be. So just trying to keep a good line out the first sector. We are 4.8 seconds up on our first lap, so I knew we were going to probably get a 119. So I was trying to push for that 119 because I only needed about 2/10, I think it was, to get a 119. So coming into sector 2 now, the double left-hander, quite a tricky section here, and coming now to the final corner, vitally important to get a really good exit here, really tight, avoiding those barriers, you cannot hit them. But we are around 4.9 seconds up, and now up to 5 seconds, so I think we get a 119, can't remember, yep, a 119.879. So same with the Clios, there wasn't much that happened in the race, so skipping to the final lap of the race, and we're just coming around the final corner now, with a 6-second lead coming into the final corner. So we'll just have a look at the championship results after we finish off here. As you can see, I was quite happy with my second and third championship. They were both on the same night, so it was really good. Crossing the line there, and we win the GT3 finale and the Clio finale. A 6.7 second lead and the fastest lap of the race, so really chuffed with that. Now looking at the championship results, so that was me winning the championship and Roger in P2. So as I said, the full season results are in the description down below, but here are some of the highlights. So we won by 39 points, there was 10 rounds and we got 8 pole positions, 5 wins and 3 race fastest lap. Thank you very much for watching, see you again next time.